Yeti for Makwaba Delegate TV Besham Senen and Machane so Mohete Adoma Mobe subscribe like Ashama Wana. Pen semi be 80 so and you be 80 Mr. Mose Mobejem and Aji near Boromun Tentem Nakuti Semane de Etego. Eti for Bawumia come say dear Papa Nemu as a papa. MPP for na eti 14 so Mokasa papa. Ohe ensema enkofono ebe pre abatono no omo pre akonwa na ensema mu de gugu akonwa ma eti fo nse Ghana fo no sene mahama kan ye wo short memory kakra enche na ewe finiema because ohwe niema MPP fo no be kan ye omo de gugu kwan ma eti fo tun se niema no de enye ni nyina na kame so matimi accomplish ohwe sisi no Bawumia policy o de ba ne se anka dollar rate no pa mahama time na ye 4 as a 5 cedi no wo de na adwen se nko all better so no but ena ohwe dollar rate na eti fo yen kampo na huri no eti fo huri papa ena $1 nam 12 cedis na to hwe margin na almost 7 cedis na ambeka 5 cedi no na otimi se enkoye na eno na endi se fo nbia ba bonten din sem bebre abatutu dwa na eti fo kam ho yemum no yemputie ensem ye ba de kam ho bia yenso ye beba abedom.
So if 3 cedi was worse from 1 Ghana cedi to 3 cedi, or leaving 1 Ghana cedi to 4 cedi, that's 3 cedi added.
It's worse.
What about 4 cedi to 12 cedis? So if by what you just said, President Akufo-Addo should have just admitted, well, he admitted at their conference that he was praying for a Messiah to come and solve
that was during their conference.
Yes, the Super Delegates conference. He said, because he has admitted, because they talk big and do less. They talk big and do less. Look, unemployment. I remember in 2016, they did a lecture at the Alisa Hotel, and they said unemployment was so bad to the extent that there was even Graduate Unemployment Association. Do you remember that?
I remember.
At that time, unemployment rate was around 7%. Today, unemployment is 17%. In the budget itself this year, the Ministry of Finance admitted that the third quarter of 2023 alone had graduate unemployment of 25%. This their own budget. So if 7% was worse, and they led to the formation of Graduate Unemployment Association, I'm sure now it should be Professors Unemployment Association, because 17% as compared to 7% are not missed. Let me land on this.
Graduate professors
unemployment. Now look at. Let me talk about this one before you. You see, I talked about the exchange rate. That is how well your city is performing. That is locally. Let's look at international. Our city performance. There is an indicator or a metric to measure it. That's what we call the credit rating system. Look, I have 3 credit rating systems stated in their own macroeconomic outlook highlights. First, by Fitch, S&P, and Moody's. All these things downgraded us to junk. Junk means that in outside Ghana, our currency is more or less like a paper. In fact, in Fitch, it is restricted default, meaning that you cannot even value it in some countries. S&P say is CCC plus, junk, and Moody's say it is CCCC A3, meaning that it is junk. So when you take Ghana city outside the country to even a bureau somewhere, they see Ghana city as good as a paper, and that is the scorecard of this government. So I'm sure when we are dealing with the other issue, I will talk more if.
But I'm sure we'd have to leave the budget conversation here.
Okay.
And then I'm sure you're saying that the 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
I mean, John Mahama has made mention that he's going to provide incentives for businesses so that the three-shift system can work. For people who are watching from Sagnerigu, where you come from, your constituency, how would you explain to them today?
Okay. So before I do the 24-hour economy, just give me a minute. Let me look at this issue of public debt has become topical, and I just want to use this opportunity to elaborate in a minute. You see, the finance ministry stated that our public debt has reduced from over 651 billion to 567.3 billion cedis. What they forgot to add and I want to add it so that Ghanaians will contextualize the discussion and don't look at them like they are now doing something. One thing I want you and the rest of Ghanaians to realize is that this government has done a haircut to a tune of 137 billion domestic debt. That is when they did their own local republic issued debt. They did the Dachi bond, and they did the Esla PLC Trust Limited bond. All sum up to 137 billion Ghana cedis. However, there is also external debt component of $21 billion. When you do it, it's over 215 billion cedis. Add it to 137 billion. It means that this government has cut savings and investment of people by almost 300 billion. So that is what is resulting in the decline of our public debt. Not because the government has done magic and the debt is not coming. And the city is also stabilizing relatively because we are not servicing our external debt. Now, coming to your question on 24, how I'll explain it to my people. Look, the government has admitted that there's a potential in Ghana that will enable us to run a 24-hour economy. How do I say so? First of all, when the policy first became topical, you saw the MPP saying that we already had a 24-hour. We already had. And they will mention chop bars, accreditation centers, filling stations, bank apps, and all those things. However, moving beyond that, that was on a political platform. But they moved beyond the political platform, and they now brought an ally. On restricted imported products, selected import products. Is that not it?
Yes.
22 of them. What the justification for that ally was that Ghana had capacity to produce those items.
So admitting
that the 24-hour economy.
Alan Martin's already endorsed it.
Did you get it? In fact, not only him. They are renowned economists. They are renowned religious leaders. They are renowned businessmen. Even general Ghanaians as a general population, we've all endorsed that program. So I will tell them that it is not. I listened to the MP for Amman from English, Honorable. The one who was following Alan, what's his name? Oh, Michael. Yes, Sly. Yes. He said in his constituency, there is a sanitary pad company that has a capacity to produce over 1 billion sanitary pads a year. Meanwhile, Ghana, our consumption is 700 million a year. So it means that this person needs incentives. And that is what President Mahama said. So when I hear people saying that it will not be legislated, they don't understand the concept. You induce demand through your incentive packages. For example, this sanitary pad company, government can tell them that maybe you don't have the manpower to produce, or there is no ready demand. So government is saying that let's place a ban on sanitary pads. Then we grant you tax waiver.
For the importation of raw materials. For the production of the sanitary
good.
Pads.
Then we give you
the materials
exactly. Then we will give you the time of use meters. That will let you conserve energy, so you can employ people to run 24 hours. If this person is able to produce the 1 billion sanitary pads a year that he said the capacity is there in his constituency, do we need to import? No. What preparations have we made in terms of rice production? We are banning rice. In terms of sugar production, we are banning sugar. All this is an admittance that Ghana has a potential. So the policy is simple. One, it's not a legislated policy. And when I say legislated, it is not going to be binding. And that is why all government services are legislated by not binding. The digital platforms that we use, mobile money interoperability, are we forced to use mobile money interoperability? We are not forced to transfer money from Vodafone to MTN. The same way we are not forced to use the banking apps. But it is an incentive that will drive growth. Businesses that don't take advantage of such platforms will only lose customers. Exactly. So that is why we are saying that this policy, there will be a stimulus package that will invite businesses to sign up to. Security will be available. And then citizens will get jobs. We won't have graduate unemployment in the third quarter alone to be 25%. Then in my constituency, fortunately, we are a farming community. Look, the value chain is a problem. we are harvesting currently. Me, I'm a farmer. I just finished harvesting my maize. Now, when the maize is harvested, we bring it straight to Accra here raw. When there's an incentive, you know our tax regime, location is also influencing your tax percentage. Yeah. So when there's an incentive for somebody to process maize into something, and they set it up in my constituency, I have a lot of graduate unemployed people who will take advantage of it. This government hasn't created anything in my constituency that will recruit people. So if you go to my constituency, we are just like an outlier. So we stand to benefit immensely from this nation builder called His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So on this note, I welcome all Ghanaians. We have brought out the questions and answers key points on the proposed 24-hour economy. And also, it's just a draft. Implementation is yet to come, and then the feasibility will be done during the launch of the manifesto. So any question that you have, you can follow us online. We'll send more information on it. And it's also still in process. So anybody who also have an idea to perfect it for us to build Ghana. That's why our tour is called the Building Ghana Tour, so that knowledge is not a reciprocity of only one person. We believe that together we can build a sustainable country. Okay,
yeah. Before I let you go finally, still in the Sagnerego constituency, you remember Felicia?
Yeah.
I'm told she won in your constituency. Is that a threat to you? Because she will get lots of money. Because remember, she got lots of COVID money. Are you worried?
No. Sagnerego constituency, in fact, if you go to Dagbon, our territory, we are the constituency that they describe as bleaching nama, meaning that we pride our tradition and our trustworthiness over anything. Okay. Despite all the COVID money she brought, despite all the school feeding contracts, despite all those things, it did not deter the good people of Sagnerego to reward Honorable Ibi Sene. And this time, have you studied the global info analytics?
Yeah, I've watched it.
The whole country,
the
Sagnerego,
54-page
yes,
document.
The whole 5 northern regions, Sagnerego recorded the highest for President Mahama, 99%. And it is our hope to manifest it into reality. So for me,